What if I told you that the very thing keeping you poor, anxious, and unfulfilled is not lack of opportunity, not lack of education, not lack of connections, but your own habit of overthinking? What if I told you that the endless circles of doubt in your mind are the chains the devil himself uses to keep you from God's plan? And what if I told you that until you break those chains by trust, nothing, no effort, no talent, no plan, will ever work? You would call me extreme. You would say, surely it cannot be that simple. Yet I tell you, it is not only simple, it is law. You may be in debt today. You may have no savings, no property, no rich friends to help you. You may sit at your table rehearsing every failure, every lost chance, every painful regret. You may say to yourself, I have nothing. I know nothing. I am nothing. And still, I declare to you, if you continue overthinking, if you refuse to trust, then 10 years from now you will be in the same place. Only poorer, older, more bitter, more ashamed. Because overthinking is not thought. It is fear in disguise. It is paralysis dressed up as caution. And fear is the tool of a man-made devil. But here is the mystery. There is a way out. There is a law that will free you. I will not hand it to you in a single phrase, because if I did, you would dismiss it as too obvious, too simple. I will walk you into it step by step until you cannot escape the truth. By the end of this speech, you will know not only why you must stop overthinking, but how to trust so completely in God's plan that your life will begin to move with a force you never imagined. Do not make the mistake of drifting through these words as entertainment. If you listen half-heartedly, if you nod in agreement but never act, you will gain nothing. You will walk away as you are, still bound, still circling, still wasting years. This law does not honor the lazy. It bows only to the definite, to the one who decides to trust completely. Think of it. Why does one man remain poor and anxious all his life while another, with no greater talent, rises to wealth and peace? Why does one family remain trapped for generations while another breaks free and builds a legacy? It is not chance. It is not fortune. It is trust. The man who trusts in fear will overthink forever and drift into nothing. The man who trusts in faith will act, and his action will be blessed. Are you familiar with the story of R.U. Darby? He was 3 feet from gold when he quit. His fear whispered, it's gone. You failed. He overthought. He delayed. He surrendered. He walked away from millions. Another man, less educated, less experienced, trusted the advice of an engineer. He drilled a little further and found a fortune. The difference was not labor. Both worked. The difference was not opportunity. Both had the same land. The difference was trust versus overthinking. One quit. One trusted. One lost. One gained. And I say to you, God's plan is revealed in the desire burning in your heart. Every time you overthink it, every time you delay, you are saying to God, I do not trust you. I will wait until I am certain. That hesitation is not prudence. It is rebellion. It is declaring that your fear is wiser than His plan. And rebellion never prospers. Trust, however, opens the gates of destiny. So listen carefully for the next few minutes. Silence every other thought. Forget your doubts. Forget your regrets. Forget the critics who mock you. Hold one question in your mind. What if I, today, finally trusted God's plan without hesitation? By the end of this speech, that question will no longer be a dream. It will be a command you can obey. Because I tell you plainly, trust, or it will never happen. Part 1, The Trap of Overthinking. Fear is the great enemy. Fear is the tool of a man-made devil. Faith is the weapon that defeats him. You must understand this truth before all others. Every man who has failed, every woman who has wasted her years in waiting, has bowed before the spirit of fear. It enters silently. It disguises itself as caution, prudence, hesitation, or endless reflection. But its true name is paralysis. When a man falls victim to fear, his mind begins to circle upon itself. He repeats his thoughts until they grow weary and weak. He calls this thinking, but it is not thought. It is drifting. The state of mind the devil loves most. Drifting is thought without purpose, motion without direction, labor without harvest. It is the slow death of ambition and the silent enemy of destiny. Overthinking is drifting clothed in the garments of reason. The tides obey their rhythm. If the universe is governed by order, how can you expect success without it? Desire gives birth to vision. Imagination provides the plan, but organized planning gives it structure. Without planning, imagination is chaos. With planning, it is creation. A definite plan is the crystallization of faith. It transforms vague vision into specific action. Men fail not for lack of imagination, but for lack of organized planning. They drift with vague dreams, never writing them down, never assigning dates, never preparing steps. Infinite intelligence rewards definiteness, not vagueness. Faith requires proof in deeds, and deeds require a plan. Andrew Carnegie built his empire not by accident, but by organized planning. He surrounded himself with men whose talents surpassed his own. This was his mastermind group. Each brought knowledge, skill, and vision. Carnegie directed, but together they planned with precision. From those plans came steel mills, railroads, and fortunes. Without organized planning, even Carnegie's vision would have withered. The mastermind is the highest form of organized planning. It is the coordination of knowledge and effort, in a spirit of harmony, between two or more minds for the attainment of a definite purpose. No single man possesses all knowledge. But when men meet in harmony, their minds blend, and infinite intelligence joins their counsel. Thus, plans are created that no man alone could conceive. If you would honor God's order, form your mastermind. Choose men and women of faith, courage, and skill. Meet with them regularly. Share your definite purpose. Draw upon their strength. Do not allow discord, for harmony is essential. As the Bible says, "Where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, there am I in the midst." So it is with a mastermind. Infinite intelligence attends the meeting. Overthinking resists planning. The overthinker waits for perfect conditions, demands complete certainty, and wastes years in endless speculation. But faith does not delay. Faith writes the plan with what light it has, sets the date, and begins at once. It adjusts as needed, but it begins. Overthinking is endless motion without direction. Planning is direction that commands motion. Write your plan clearly. State what you desire, when you desire it, and what you will give in return. Outline the steps to be taken. Assign dates. Measure progress. Do not wait until the plan is perfect, for no plan is ever perfect. Begin now, and perfection will grow with action. A weak plan executed is stronger than a perfect plan never begun. Remember that failure often follows poor planning. But failure is not permanent. It is instruction. Revise the plan. Improve it and persist. Edison revised his plans thousands of times before his lamp burned. Ford revised his designs before his automobile succeeded. Rockefeller adjusted his strategies before mastering oil. The great do not abandon plans. They refine them until victory is won. Say with me now, I plan with definiteness and I act with faith. My plans align with God's order. I write my desire clearly. I set my dates firmly. I outline my steps specifically. I consult with men of faith and wisdom. I persist through failure, for failure is only instruction. My plans grow stronger with each test. I move forward in order as God Himself has ordered the universe. A plan without action is dead. Do not wait until all resources are gathered. Begin where you are with what you have. The man who waits for all conditions to be perfect will never begin. Begin with your present tools and better tools will appear. Begin with your current allies and greater allies will join. God honors action, not delay. He multiplies resources only for those who start. The history of commerce proves this law. Men who waited perished. Men who acted triumphed. The merchant who risked his ships across the sea brought home riches. The farmer who sowed, though the clouds threatened, reaped a harvest. The entrepreneur who planned and acted in faith built industries. Fortune has no mercy for the hesitant, but she bows to the man of organized planning and bold execution. Guard your plans from critics. The overthinker delights in tearing down the visions of others. Reveal your plan only to those who support it. Critics will infect you with fear. Keep your purpose before you, your plan upon paper, and your faith in your heart. When the plan is strong in results, then reveal it. Until then, guard it as a seedling in the soil, hidden until its roots are strong. Do not confuse planning with overplanning. The timid spend years arranging details, then perish without action. True planning moves swiftly from thought to paper to action. It allows adjustment, but it demands movement. The only way to perfect a plan is to test it in action. The battlefield reveals flaws that the desk never shows. Begin, adjust, and persist until victory is won. Organized planning requires discipline. You must schedule your hours, manage your resources, and direct your attention. The drifter wastes time. The planner redeems it. The drifter squanders resources. The planner multiplies them. The drifter scatters his thoughts. The planner concentrates them. Concentrated effort, directed by plan, is the difference between wish and wealth, between drifting and destiny. Remember that God blesses order. He rewards definiteness. He does not favor vagueness. He does not honor endless waiting. He reveals His plan step by step, but he requires you to write it, to commit to it, and to move upon it. To overthink is to dishonor his law. To plan and act is to obey it. Trust his order by bringing order into your life. Therefore I say, plan with definiteness. Write it, speak it, act upon it. Adjust as needed. Persist until it succeeds. Align your plans with God's order. Surround yourself with allies of faith. Guard your purpose from critics and act without delay. Then watch as infinite intelligence multiplies your efforts, opens doors, and brings results greater than you dreamed. Part 7. The subconscious mind and infinite intelligence. The subconscious mind is the connecting link between man and infinite intelligence. It receives every thought, every word, every image impressed upon it, and it acts as a channel to the source of all power. It does not reason. It does not question. It accepts what you feed it, whether faith or fear, and it translates it into reality. Thus, the man becomes the master or the slave of his own mind. Overthinking poisons the subconscious. Each doubt repeated, each fear rehearsed, each hesitation indulged becomes a command to the subconscious to bring forth paralysis. The man who continually pictures failure will meet it. The man who continually rehearses poverty will live in it. The subconscious obeys the law of suggestion. It produces what you feed it, whether poison or nourishment. Faith purifies the subconscious when you impress it with definite purpose, burning desire, and repeated affirmations. It accepts these as law. It then connects with infinite intelligence, drawing upon wisdom, opportunity, and power far beyond the conscious mind. Faith is the only language the subconscious understands in its highest form. Speak to it in faith and it will translate faith into miracles. Say with me now, I feed my mind only with faith, courage, and trust. My subconscious obeys God's law. It receives no fear, no doubt, no criticism. It receives only faith, definiteness, persistence, and trust. I guard my mind as sacred ground, planting only seeds that will yield abundance. I refuse to overthink, for I know the subconscious will grow whatever seed I sow. Consider the story of my own son. He was born without ears. Physicians declared he would be deaf and mute for life. Yet I refused to accept that verdict. I impressed upon my subconscious, and upon his, the belief that he would hear. I planted it daily through affirmations, stories, and faith. Years passed, but at last technology became the tool through which faith was fulfilled. He heard, and his life was transformed. This is the mystery of the subconscious. It does not concern itself with time. It holds the vision until conditions align. Years may pass. Obstacles may arise. But if the seed of faith is planted, the harvest will come. My son's triumph was not an accident of science. It was the fruit of faith, impressed upon the subconscious and held there without wavering. The subconscious draws upon infinite intelligence, which is God's universal mind. This is the source of inventions, inspirations, and flashes of genius. Edison spoke of receiving ideas in moments of calm, when his mind was receptive. Lincoln confessed to being guided by impressions he could not explain. The subconscious, when aligned with faith, becomes the doorway through which infinite intelligence speaks. Guard your subconscious from the whispers of fear. Critics, doubters, and scoffers are sowers of weeds. Their words, if permitted, will lodge in your mind and grow into thorns that choke your purpose. Close your ears to them. Associate only with those who speak faith, courage, and trust. Feed daily upon affirmations. Pray with definiteness. Picture your desire clearly. The subconscious will accept no less and deliver no more than what you impress upon it. Overthinking fills the subconscious with contradictions. One day you affirm faith. The next day you rehearse fear. 1 hour you picture wealth. The next you picture poverty. The subconscious, confused by opposing commands, produces confusion in results. But when you are definite, persistent, and unwavering, it moves with power. Single-minded faith produces single-minded results. The subconscious works while you sleep. It never rests. When you retire at night, it continues to process your last thoughts. Feed it with faith before sleep. Repeat your affirmations aloud. Picture your desire vividly. Express gratitude. Then rest, knowing that the subconscious is working in harmony with infinite intelligence to bring your vision into reality. What you dream at night is often the seed of what you will live by day. The great men of history practiced this law. Carnegie impressed definiteness of purpose upon his mind until it became an obsession. Ford pictured the automobile in every home until it was fact. Edison rehearsed the image of light until it burned into reality. They were not men of chance. They were men who trained their subconscious to obey faith, not fear. Their results were the fruit of obedience to this law. Say again with me. I feed my mind only with faith, courage, and trust. My subconscious obeys God's law. I reject the whispers of fear. I refuse the poison of doubt. I choose the seed of faith. I plant it daily. I guard it carefully. I trust infinite intelligence to water it, to nurture it, and to bring forth a harvest greater than I can imagine. Prayer is the highest form of suggestion to the subconscious. But prayer without faith is wasted breath. When you pray, believe that what you ask is already yours. Speak it with definiteness. Picture it clearly. Express gratitude as though it were already done. Then release it to infinite intelligence through the subconscious. Faith-filled prayer is the seed. Action is the cultivation. Harvest is the result. The subconscious does not distinguish between riches and poverty, courage and fear, health and illness. It accepts what you impress. Therefore, be vigilant. Do not allow idle talk, negative company, or self-pity to sow destructive seeds. Each complaint is a command. Each doubt is an instruction. Each fearful word is a poison. Speak only faith, and the subconscious will obey only faith. Your greatest responsibility is to guard the gateway of your mind. If you fail here, no plan will succeed. No imagination will bear fruit. No persistence will endure. The subconscious is the soil of destiny. Sow weeds, reap weeds. Sow faith, reap abundance. This law is universal, eternal, impartial. It favors no man. It condemns no man. It simply yields what is planted. Therefore I command you, stop overthinking. Overthinking is double-mindedness, a sin against the law of faith. Decide what you desire. Picture it clearly. Affirm it daily. Guard it jealously. Persist until it becomes reality. Trust the process, for the subconscious, connected to infinite intelligence, will not fail you. Only fear can corrupt it, and fear is your choice. Faith is also your choice. Choose wisely.